Hi, all. My name is Courtney, and I will be going through the risk management plan for starting your own business. So, first, I will open up the document so we can look at it together. Bear with me for just a minute. Okay, I'm here in a second. I hope everybody can see as well. So to start, well, first of all, I want to mention that coming from Microsoft Word and the formatting of tables and such, Zoom is not able to pick up on everything. So kind of bear with formatting a little bit. I wasn't able to figure out how to do a PDF instead. So we're just going to go with it. Starting off, I do introduce that we will be talking about starting your own business, and I currently will find a little bit of bias in this plan. So it is important if you are pursuing starting your own business and looking at doing a plan yourself, it will be different, as everyone's getting into different things. So, and the level of importance that I find may be different and more drastic for others. So, the plan itself is something that should be, sourced in the beginning of anything, honestly. I think that we can apply it to anything that we're doing in life, family planning, even just our general day to day. It's always good to reflect before, during, and then, following if there is a completion time to whatever you're working with. So the process that we will be going through, just very briefly of the plan laid out, is first identify the risks of starting your own business. Later, we will look over a SWOT reflection. I'll explain that later too. Put it all into a table. Personally, we'll evaluate the risks versus the rewards of, having this plan, and then, even putting together that plan of reward as well for whatever it is you are pursuing. Again, we are looking at starting your own business. And then afterwards, you put together another plan of how you're going to do it all. So I have a general legend here of probability. So this is related to the map. So where they have impact on the left-hand side and probability on the bottom. I more so am referencing the colors, where their level is very minimal to the most extreme. My map is the same. However, on my left-hand side, I'm looking at likelihood, and on the bottom, the impact. So a bit opposite, but still very similar. And I do sign off that I am Courtney Smith, and this is my plan for starting your own business. I have a couple references here, primarily one from a YouTuber, for the sake of the map, I should say, Chandu. So he helped put together a map in Excel. And then I referenced the Small Business Association for putting together some of these risks. They are a good start in starting your own business. Obviously, everybody starts somewhere. So, with that, the first risk I have listed is sole proprietorship. So, I put this under hazardous. So, this is the number one because starting a business is your thing, or it's going to be a group of people's things. But it's, you know, this is your business plan. So you take all responsibility. So that's an operation of liability and legal responsibility. Or not similarly, but other people, staffing, I have them listed here in operational too. So staffing actually can go into people and can also go into stocking. That's something that is um, needed, necessary, depending on what you're doing. Next, we have financial risks. So these all will always come back to this proprietor. In my case, I'm an LLC, so a limited liability corporation. So that's where I just everyone's going to be different. Every plan's going to be different, but generally. So the loan offerings, your long-term, but also your short-term commitment. And then in strategy for all of these things, planning. Don't do it improperly. Do it good. And then business competition. So I've kind of, I think labeled of sort how these risks can be measured, but if it's on you, I believe that's high. Insurance and legal also to be high. I think the time commitment is something that can be high to medium. Improper planning is like the number one. So even before your sole proprietorship, that's extremely high. I have competition loan offerings as medium. Those are things that kind of vary, again, depending on what you're getting into. And I have staffing as the lowest. So that interpersonal um, group, it's kind of low on the totem pole, as opposed to when you start getting outsiders, so your lawyers, your insurance people, your suppliers, things like that. Those rank a little bit higher for me. Dealing with the risk is just paying attention. Again, coming back and forth to plans, always being able to adapt. That's just essential in life in general. And the solution to most of these risks is after you have the process started, and roll with the punches. But have each risk involved in the next bunch. I don't know. Can't always do it, but it's great when you can. It's really cool when you have time to make decisions. Getting into strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, SWOT. Um, the strengths that I have listed, again, all of this is just going to be somewhat personal because I'm weeding through the suggestions of other people and seeing what actually I am able to highlight. And that's planning, the time maintenance, your, you know, ability to adapt. So those are all strengths that we're able to have, but likewise can start to become weaknesses. So in time management, you're doing everything right. Your shipment doesn't show up. That's a weakness when you kind of have to start to depend on outside sources. Similarly in legal matters and finances. But opportunities exist everywhere. You have the opportunity to be financially independent, have your self-accomplishment, the help of the community in some form, whatever you're doing, probably involves people of some sort, and that's networking. Threats that can happen are, you have people involved, so it's your reputation and the competition and everything coming back onto you. So I map these things out in a simple risk map. So again, having our likelihood on the left-hand side and the impact on the bottom. I have from green to yellow to orange. Red seems like a stopping point, so that color doesn't need to happen. That's like a means to the end. Sole proprietorship being your top upmost corner. Also having in that color the legal responsibility, which involves insurance. I think I mainly fall into medium category here. I do risk higher impact and lower impact up above, but medium is kind of where things start to fall because it's a give or take situation, working with people, the dependency or staffing to competition, that planning can be something that should be maybe in the orange, but this is improper planning. So planning, absolutely, but the risks involved of improper planning do happen. You're going to have things pop up, and the impact can be great. So I middle guard about both of them. Availability, time extensions, and ability to multifunction and your loans, generally an acceptance. I also have loan interest as lower impact because that's a little number in comparison to taking on a large loan. All of these things, again, vary on who is managing. and what they are managing. That can come into excess spending, the imbalance of finances, and then even property damages, but hopefully we'll all have insurance. Um, so definitely something that is good to look back on. And all of these things are just nice to reflect upon. So I'm going to go ahead and close it and kind of finish up that having a plan is everything. Again, for any aspect of life. So this was essential for me. I'm already in the process, but it's something that I'm already looking on to and thinking about. So planning in the beginning, planning in the middle, and maybe there's an end to it, having that plan set in place too. And then, like in our process steps before, that risk versus rewards. So I don't know, sometimes you flip a coin. I don't know, but thanks for listening, and I hope that all your planning goes a okay. Thanks.